Hi, friends. It's Lisa Hetrick, illustrator for Gina K Designs, and I'm so grateful you could join me today. I have a really fun card today, and in the spirit of Valentine's Day, we're going to be doing a little bit of stamp kissing. I'm going to talk about texture, dimension, and stamp kissing. It's going to be fun. We're going to create this card over on the right, and we're going to focus on creating that pattern inside the milk bottle jug stamp. It's going to be super fun. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a quick look at the supplies. All of the supplies will be listed down below in the description, but I'm just going to do a quick run through. I've got this really fun linen texture stamp from Gina K Designs, and I have some master layout dies. I've got the new incentive set. We're going to use that silhouette image. I've got some really fun hearts, a lot of different tools here, and I've got the inks that I'm going to be using: blue raspberry, obsidian, passionate pink, and innocent pink. I'm also using the Whimsy and Wonder stamp set and the coordinating dies. I've got some pink cardstock. All of the links will be down below in the description, including the sizes of the cardstocks that I am using from Gina K Designs. So let's go ahead and dive into the first thing for the card. I'm going to talk about stamp kissing. Now, I love this stamp from Gina K Designs. It is a full red rubber background stamp with a linen texture. I'm inking up the milk bottle in the blue raspberry, and I'm going to stamp it down onto the stamp. And you get a twofer when you do this kind of technique. Now, I'm taking the cardstock, the Gina K white cardstock, and I'm just rubbing it on to the stamp. So I get that milk jug with the linen texture already embedded in it. And I also have that linen texture showing up on the stamp, and I'm going to stamp that as well. So you're able to create, this is two ways of doing stamp kissing, but you're able to create some really interesting texture inside of the stamped image. So this milk jug is a solid stamp and it stamps beautifully. But if you use the stamp kissing technique with any kind of stamp that you have that has a texture to it or a pattern, you're able to create that texture inside that solid. And I just love that. It adds a little more whimsy to your card, and it's just super fun. Okay, I'm stamping out all of the other images that I'm using for the card layers as well. The little heart stamp that's in the Whimsy and Wonder set, and I am inking up the arrow from the Whimsy and Wonder set as well. When I'm creating cards, I like to stamp all of my elements first, especially the images that I'm going to run through my die cutter. So I've got all of my stamped images here. Now I'm going to move on and stamp out the Protea flower. So this Protea flower, I'm going to stamp it out with some obsidian amalgam ink, because I am going to do a little bit of Copic marker coloring for this image. This is a great image. It's a line art image with lots of space to do color work inside, and yeah, just love it. Love the Protea. It's whimsical, it's wonky, and I'm loving it in this set. Now, in the Whimsy and Wonder set, I also have the solid image of the bloom in the Protea flower. So I'm inking that up with some of the innocent pink, and I'm just going to give it a little turn, and I'm going to stamp it down over top of the Protea line art image, and it gives you that big hit of instant color in a two-step stamping technique. So the bloom is now all pink, and I'm going to add just a little bit of color to the Leafery. But first, I'm going to run all of these images through my die cutter using the coordinating dies, and I just love the little embellishments that we get from that. I do love some coordinating dies. I know I like to fussy cut things too, but this is super fun. Got all of those really fun die cuts all in one shot, one pass through the die cutter. Now I'm just going to cut 2 layers for my card project using the Master Layouts dies. Okay, I went ahead and adhered the 2 layers together. So I have the black cardstock and the white cardstock layered together, and I'm getting ready to start to do some more stamping on the base layer. I'm using this beautiful floral silhouette from the new incentive set. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to stamp it down twice with some innocent pink. And this is going to create a background layer behind the Protea flower. It's just going to add a little bit more texture and dimension to the card without adding a ton of height. It looks a little bit like a hot mess right now, but you can see that I'm taking that milk bottle and just kind of putting it there to see where the stamps land, because I am going to be layering over top of it. Now, one of the cool things that you always hear me say is I want the stamps to be the star of the show. So I'm constantly working on my cards and building layers from the bottom up. And this is one way to do that. You can use the stamps, especially these silhouette stamps, because they produce a really nice solid image to create a lot of extra texture and dimension as you add layers on top. Okay, I'm grabbing a Copic marker here. This is YG03. And did you know that if you look for the gray belly on the Copic marker, you will always, always, always have the brush tip? Yeah, I used to be once upon a time a Copic marker instructor, and I used to teach a lot of Copic marker classes. And yeah, I have all of them, and I've been using them for a very, very, very long time. And every once in a while, I like to bring them back out. The reason why I love them is because they're a lot like watercolor. They're very transparent, and they're super fun to work with. So I just added a little bit of that color to the Leafery. Didn't color in the entire leaf image. I just wanted to add a little pop of green to, again, add a little bit more texture and dimension to this final card project. So I am going to do something with the die cut here. I am cutting away the Leafery from the stem because I'm going to layer this die cut with the milk jug die cut. And you can see that I'm layering those 2 pieces together. And I want that leaf element to come over top of the milk jug. So just cut it off. And then I'm cutting off the bottom of the stem. And I'm just cutting it away and then just trimming away a little bit of that excess that's around the die cut image, just to kind of complete this look and feel. So just a really quick trim, a little bit of fussy cutting. So now I've got this really fun floral die cut that just kind of interconnects to the milk jug stamped image. Now, with these 2 die cut images, you've got a lot of texture and dimension and contrast. We've got the black stamped image with some 2-step stamping and some green Leafery, and the blue in the milk jug. So a lot of contrast going on with this card with some really simple stamped images. And that's what I love about stamping. You can do so many different things to create texture and dimension and layering with your stamped images. I'm not adding a whole lot of extra doodads here. I'm just using the stamps and letting them be the star of the show. So now I'm just moving ahead and assembling the card. I've added a little bit of foam tape to the back of the milk jug, and I'm just positioning that so that you can see where I'm going to put that Protea. So the Protea is just going to sit on top of the silhouette image behind it. And those 2 layers alone give you a lot of good contrast and dimension. Because again, we've got that stamped image in the black obsidian ink. We've got some 2-step stamping going on in that Protea. So there's a little bit of innocent pink. And there's a little bit of that YG03 Copic marker that gives it a little bit of a pop of green color. And all of these colors kind of complement each other, but we've got that stamp kissed image in the linen texture, and we've got all of that working together to create this card with a lot of texture, dimension, and contrast. And it just makes it kind of visually appealing and super fun. So now I'm just adding the last two embellishments here, stamped embellishments, the heart and the little arrow. And the fact that we've got a darker pink and a lighter pink here gives that bottom of the card some more texture and dimension. Now, I've got these cute little hearts from Gina K Designs. I just love them. My package exploded some time ago, so I have them in that little dish. I've got the three little pale pink hearts that complement that innocent pink color so well. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop them in around this card on the card here in 3 spots, and just adds that extra little bit of whimsy with it being a heart embellishment and that innocent pink light color. Adds a little bit more whimsy to the card without adding a ton more height. I just love these cute little embellishments, and this card is done and I am loving it. Look at all the texture and dimension, and the original card inspiration is over here on the left. So the difference with the one on the right is that card base with innocent pink, and I really feel like it gives that card a little extra pop with some extra color dimension. So we've got some layering here. And the stamps are the star of the show because we've created that extra texture in the linen. So if you take a look at this card over on the left, the milk jug is solid and it's still really gorgeous, but look at that linen texture from the stamp kissing. It really just gives this card a little bit extra. As with all of my stamp sets, I have a free card idea sheet download for you. The link is in the description. I've got 8 brand new card ideas using the Whimsy and Wonder stamp set. It's a little gift of grace from me to you. Thanks so much for watching. Please consider sharing in the joy by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. And you can check out more of my card and watercolor tutorials here. So come on in, have a look around, and I'll see you next time.